Willie D Live.
What's up, family? Donald Trump, your president, wants all media personalities to back up off me. Yeah, Donald Trump is on board with FCC chief Brendan Carr, who says that he's going to come down on media journalists who speak negatively, who criticizes the United States in their Iran war. Yeah, they want journalists to capitulate to their narrative. If you don't tell it like we want you to tell it, we are going to yank your licenses. What do y'all think about that, fam? Give me a thumbs up if you're with it. If you think it's a good idea. Yeah, man, you can't be from the United States and telling the truth. I mean, not telling the truth, but you can't be from the United States and going against Trump. Not going against Trump. You can't be from the United States and telling it like it is. No, that's not it. You can't be from the United States. If you're from the United States, you got to be on board. Is that better? Give me a thumbs up if you agree with Trump and the FCC chief. Thumbs down and say, "No, man, we got rights around here. We got First Amendment rights." Yeah, you know what? Let me read this piece out of the Washington Post, and then I'll tell you what the law says about it. Trump backs FCC chief's threat to broadcasters, criticizing Iran war coverage. There he is right there. That's Brendan Carr. That's the FCC head honcho. President Donald Trump on Sunday endorsed Federal Communications Commission Chairman Brendan Carr's threat to revoke broadcast licenses over news coverage of the U.S.-Israeli war in Iran, calling media organizations corrupt and highly unpatriotic in a Truth Social post. They get billions of dollars of free American airwaves and use it to perpetuate lies, both in news and almost all of their shows, including late night morons who get gigantic salaries for horrible ratings, Trump wrote. As I used to say in The Apprentice, fired, he added. Carr, in his Saturday post on X, warned he would deny or revoke government-issued licenses if broadcasters run what the agency deems fake news. The warning was the latest salvo from the official who, since becoming FCC chairman at the outset of Trump's second term, has relished the role of media enforcer. We can stop right there. Okay, fam. So what does the law say about all of this? What does the law say? Here's what the law says about this. Hold on, here we go. First of all, fam, let me just say that it is illegal for the government to censor free speech that criticizes or that does not like Trump's war in Iran, right? It's free speech to say you think the war is a bad idea, right? That's free speech, right? That's covered under free speech. But the FCC actually says on its own website that the First Amendment and Communications Act expressly prohibit the commission from censoring broadcast matter. It also states that the commissioner's role in overseeing content on the airwaves was very limited. The FCC's authority over content standards is limited to broadcasts on television and radio and does not include cable networks or streaming platforms, which means we can give a big old go straight to hell to all of that. We ain't got to abide by all of that, man. Yeah, we streaming. You dig what I'm saying? Yeah, man, we streaming. While they screaming, we streaming. That's right, I said it. That's right, I said it, man. This is the sort of thing that authoritarian governments do, you know? They don't agree with something that is being said, even though it could be true. if they just disagree, they want to shut you down, run you out of business, might even kill you. This is what authoritarian governments do. And Trump just said yesterday that the president of Cuba is a very, very bad guy. You know, he's responsible for killing people. Question, how many countries did Cuba invade in the last 30 years? You know what? Let's see. Because I mean, I'm just taking a wild guess that. Let's see. How many countries has Cuba invaded in last, I don't know, let's say 100 years? Boom. Okay, based on historical records, Cuba has engaged in military interventions or deployments or supported armed insurgencies in at least 9 to 10 different countries over the last 100 years, primarily between 1959 and 1991 during the Cold War. So Cuba, let's say 9 to 10, they're responsible for, right? And this don't even really say invasions, this say interventions, which means that they just deploy troops. Now let's take a look at America. I'm going to say U.S. The United States has overtaken, y'all ready for this, fam? The United States has undertaken over 500 international military interventions since 1776. That's 1776, with nearly 60% occurring between 1950 and 2017. 1950 to 2017, it was very active. Estimates suggest the U.S. has invaded or deployed forces in roughly 192 of 195 nations. That's the numbers I was looking for. Estimates suggest the United States has invaded or deployed forces in roughly 192 of 195 nations. Only 3 nations have been spared of its wrath. That's in the last 100 years, making them a very active military force. Interventions. There have been over 251 military interventions since 1991, with roughly 469 since 1798, acknowledged by Congress, according to towardsfreedom.org. Okay. Major conflicts. Major 20th and 21st century actions include Korea, Vietnam, Panama, Iraq, Afghanistan, and Libya, according to a YouTube video and a Facebook post towards freedom. Many of these interventions involve sustained troops' presence on combat rather than just small-scale actions. Now, let's look at how many countries the U.S. has invaded. Let's see. Okay. I really wanted to get the last 10 years. But, that don't really matter, fam. The United States is well ahead of everybody. I mean, when I say everybody, I mean, ain't nobody even close. The United States invade. And Trump, he inherited that legacy, and he didn't inherit the legacy. He embraced the legacy. He loves it. He thinks he's playing Monopoly. He thinks it's a game. You know, he really thinks it's a game. He's out here sending people's children to die while his children hang out on the beach and go to fancy restaurants and eat. Yeah, his children are thousands of miles away from conflict. They'll never pick up a gun and have to fire or defend themselves. A president should work for the public interest. But Trump, he works for his own interest. It should be a big no-no for a president to have that type of power over the FCC, FBI, CIA, hell, SCOTUS. In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. That's what George Orwell said. Remember him? That's what he said. In a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. And, you know, oftentimes revolutionaries get killed. Revolutionaries are ostracized. Revolutionaries, you know, have to be, are made to go underground. Yeah. You know, it's a paradox that every dictator has climbed the ladder of success or the ladder of power with free speech. Think about what I said, fam. Think about that. Trump ain't no different. Remember, they were voting for Trump because they said Trump tells it like it is. He tells the truth. So he gets in, he comes into power, and now he wants to suppress the truth. He wants to stop others from telling the truth. He needs you to lie like he do. He needs you to believe the lies and repeat the lies that he tells. Isn't that amazing, fam, that every single dictator climbed the ladder of power with free speech? And then once they get in, you know, they start killing people who speak freely. Or if they're threatened that a person might speak freely. What's up with them Epstein files? No more talk.